Hey everyone, Decius here with another video. Thank you for stopping by. I am currently sitting in Kanos, kind of pondering existence and especially Norath, pondering while sitting next to a pond. So let's begin. In this video, I want to talk about a quote that I mentioned in a previous video of mine from over a year ago. You never actually quit EverQuest or said MMO, you just take long breaks. And I kind of wanted to focus on that because it seems relevant in my life right now. Recently, I've taken a little bit of a backseat on playing EverQuest, more or less for the last 3 months or so. And I think there's a few reasons for that. And I think there's reasons for why I am logged back in and making a video about it too, that I kind of wanted to just talk about in more of a reflective commentary. So before I get into that, I do want to just have a shameless plug. I am about to hit 2,000 subscribers. I'm right on the precipice. So if you're not subscribed and you like EverQuest content, feel free to hit the subscribe button. I enjoy talking about MMOs, but shameless plug aside, let me focus on that 3-month-ish break that I took from EverQuest. And in this break, I definitely logged in on EverQuest every once in a while between those times, but I didn't really group or do any like demanding content or had any specific goals. I mostly just kind of set the game aside. And for me at least, it kind of naturally arises, just the desire to kind of take a step back or take a break. Because as soon as I'm like playing EverQuest and it just doesn't really feel fun or it feels like an obligation, like I instantly can't play it anymore. Like I just have to stop playing it because it's just not fun, and I don't want to try to zap or recreate or like, I don't know, yeah, just like create fun out of nothing from the experience that I'm not really enjoying inherently. And I always find it really interesting because there's kind of like a switch that flips in my mind when I'm playing the game, where at one point it'll be the best game in the world. It's like the most fun I have in gaming is from EverQuest. And then I'll log in, and then the next day it's like, I'm like, wait, how did I do this? Like, why was I having so much fun? Like, it's such an interesting switch of perspective. And it's happened to me several times throughout my life, so at this point I'm pretty comfortable with that sensation and how it can just be so contrasted. And I think it's just interesting to talk about because I'd love to hear other people's perspectives on this, if they, or when they've taken breaks from EverQuest. Like, have you had those similar experiences of it just, the fun kind of was gone out of the blue randomly, and then it comes back and you want to just play again? And maybe that happened over a course of several years, or maybe a week or a few months like me. But I just find it so interesting to kind of contemplate that. And it's not like I didn't play any games within that time. I mostly like diverted into like single player games for quite a while. I was playing World of Warcraft for a little bit, Mist of Pandaria Classic, but I was feeling pretty similar about that as well. It was just kind of like a guinea pig on like a hamster wheel, or I suppose a hamster on a hamster wheel. And I just kind of lost the allure from that as well. But I was playing Skyrim, which I made a video about recently. I played through Cyberpunk, and most recently I played through Clair Obscur Expedition 33. And I definitely recommend that game. If you haven't played it or heard about it, look up a trailer for like Expedition 33. That's a good keyword just to look up. The story is absolutely phenomenal, and on top of that, the gameplay and the visuals are just next level. Just really cool abstract designs that every single second I had playing that game it felt memorable, and it felt really fucking fun, and just honestly just a very tear-jerking emotional experience just for the story itself. So those were kind of the games that I was playing within that period of time where I wasn't really playing EverQuest. And I think I kind of took some interesting experiences from that, which can help me kind of reshape my own relationship with EverQuest. Because that's the beautiful thing about it, for me at least. Like, when I'm playing EverQuest, the game itself is completely static. The mechanics, I suppose it depends on the kind of server you play on, or if it's modded, or has a lot of different rule sets if it's an emulated server. But for the most part, Norath is a very consistent plane of existence to play within. And what really changes is yourself when you're playing the game, your perception of the experience of interacting with these static elements that don't change. And every experience that you have within EverQuest and outside of EverQuest, in real life, in other games, other people you meet throughout your life, every sort of memory or experience kind of, it just adds up into like the cache of your mind. And so when you are playing EverQuest, you are playing with the amalgamation of all of those thoughts and experiences built in. So being able to kind of utilize that and go into different experiences outside of EverQuest and come back, you can really look at the game completely differently. And that is something that I am so grateful to be able to have the ability to do that, since I've played EverQuest my entire life, pretty much. It is such a static thing, but my perception of myself, my perception of others, my perception of what it means to even be alive has fundamentally changed as I've gotten older. And with that, that translates perfectly to how I play EverQuest as well. And also, it doesn't change in some ways too. I can see that there's some consistency in my patterns and how I do things, and how some of those things don't change over time, even if maybe I'd prefer them to. But it really does reveal your own kind of human nature deep down playing this game. And yeah, that's something that I would love to hear other people's opinions or experiences on in the comment section, just on that. I love these kind of conversations and just having these talks about MMOs, because they really are instruments for growth in just being alive and interacting with other people. And just the game itself is really fucking fun, and I'm back in it. The past week or so, I hopped back into P99. I leveled my Necromancer from 39 to 43, just killing specters. I was actually just really getting back into the grind, and just the peaceful rhythm that EverQuest has to offer when it comes to the leveling experience and just camping and interacting with the same people day in and day out. It is a breath of fresh air in gaming, and to be able to kind of have those experiences again after a few months has been a beautiful reprieve for me, and I feel much more motivated to make more videos talking about EverQuest again, because I was kind of going through a little bit of a lull of making EverQuest videos and really making videos in general. I think I was kind of having like a YouTube dark night of the soul a little bit, and just kind of, just questioning like what kind of stuff I want to put out there. And I really do want to have a positive impact, or just for myself too, and just my own expression, just feeling authentic about that. And if other people find it engaging to listen to, or relaxing, or something to listen to while they're falling asleep even, I'm happy to make videos for tons of reasons, and I feel a nice little motivation to do that again, which is nice. And some of the factors that I wanted to talk about when it came to the mentality that's somewhat required to play EverQuest, that I don't necessarily always inherently have. I think some of the reasons that lead to me taking a break or coming back, it's very based on the mood. It's a very subjective experience emotionally that kind of gets me back into the game or takes me out of it. And it's something that I'm still kind of pondering, the exact moods, exact thoughts, maybe certain things that happen in real life that maybe unconsciously or subconsciously trigger a desire to play EverQuest again. Sometimes I've found that if there is a lot of uncertainty in my external reality, say I am looking for a new job, which I was unemployed for a short while last year because I was just very unhappy at a job I had, and I needed to quit and I just needed to figure it out. And sometimes when there's those periods of a lot of uncertainty in my external, EverQuest is a nice tool to sort of have an anchor a little bit in my everyday life, something that's consistent that I can feel relatively safe in. But sometimes that's not always the case, because during that period last year, I really wasn't playing a lot of EverQuest during that time because I was trying to just figure shit out in real life. So it can happen either way there, but I think there's definitely triggers that can cause me to want to play EverQuest and not play EverQuest. And maybe the concept of patience as well. I think EverQuest is a very patient game. It requires a good amount of it just to accomplish tasks like, leveling to max level, having the consistency and discipline to raid every week and attend at certain times and everything, and be a reliable raid member, which is something I've always struggled with. And maybe becoming a bit disillusioned with the experience as well, and maybe questioning internally where you find pleasure or fun in the experience of playing the game itself. I think sometimes I can overthink it a bit, obviously, like I'm doing right now, about why I even want to play the game, what aspects of it. And pretty much every time what brings me back is the sense of camaraderie and community that the game has. And I mean, especially right now, my dad, we have played EverQuest together my entire life. I've always played EverQuest with him growing up and leveling characters, and lately he's been playing on Corm again, so I definitely want to play more with him in EverQuest too, just to share those experiences. It's a good instrument to reminisce on the past and also create new memories at the same time, which I think that is a very beautiful thing. And yeah, those were kind of the main concepts about my own personal mentality when it comes to why I decide to take a break or come back. And 100% that varies person by person. And again, I'd love to just hear your comments down below of just what brings you back to EverQuest, what keeps you playing, and what do you love most about the EverQuest experience. I would really love to hear that. And I think it's just a good opportunity to share our shared love of EverQuest and how it really impacts our life in a beneficial way, and how it can be just a very positive connecting thing in times where it's somewhat hard to connect in real life. I mean, especially during the winter time. It's where I live in the Midwest. It's cold, it's snowy. It's kind of hard to go out a lot and just interact with people, and having an opportunity to do that even virtually is always something that's nice to have the ability to do. And I think that really relates, kind of talking about the winter, with just talking about the rhythms in life, just the seasons and just change in general. And EverQuest for me has always fallen into the rhythm of life seasons for me. I'll go through periods where I will not play the game, and it makes the experience of playing it again even more special because it's not something that is always constant in my life. I am back. It is daytime. My hard drive has been acting up lately, so it shut off mid-recording, and I was very worried that the first 14 minutes was completely gone, but luckily the file was safely recovered, so I'm very grateful for that. But next I wanted to talk about my experiences I've had in my return, albeit pretty brief so far. Lately I have been live streaming on Twitch, and last night I live streamed on YouTube as well, and that's been fun to do, just to kind of interact with people live and just play EverQuest the way I would usually play it, but just kind of in a more interactive basis. And if you are interested in checking those out, I do not have a specific schedule or anything, but feel free to follow me on my Twitch account. I'll try to remember to link that in the description. It's just called Decius_. And I will create like an event a little bit before I start streaming on YouTube as well. So definitely check those out if you're free and you just want to hang out with me while I play EQ for a bit and just chit chat. That's been really fun so far. And I also wanted to mention, I had a little bit of like a talk with fellow YouTuber Slayheim in his Back to the Golden Age series, where he's kind of talking to content creators and just notable players and just anybody really that wants to talk about just the classic MMO experience. And definitely check out Slayheim's YouTube channel. He makes some really cool videos, and like if you're into kind of a nice relaxing chill vibe, definitely check out those videos and those talks as well, because they are really interesting. There's some cool people. There's like a Monsters and Memories PvPer who's like one of the top 10 PvPers so far, and it was just really interesting to see and hear his perspective of just the MMO experience within the framework of just PvP. And with that, I wanted to talk about my future, or the future for the channel of Decius. So definitely expect to see some more MMO videos in the future. I'm definitely looking to make more EverQuest videos and more live streaming. I think this year I want to focus on live streaming as well. I think that is a really fun outlet for me, at least, to be able to interact with people, you know, live, and also potentially have some collaborations with some other creators. If you are interested in just hanging out in Discord or playing some EverQuest together in a group in just a chill setting, definitely hit me up. Let me know in the comments or on Discord, and we can set something up. I'd love to do more collaborations with other people and other creators this year. And with Monsters and Memories coming out around June 1st of this year, definitely expect to see some Monsters and Memories content coming up. I might be playing the beta or any playtests that come up before the early access release. So subscribe for Monsters and Memories content that will be coming in the future as well. And besides just MMO videos, I will always stay true to myself and make whatever I feel called to make in the moment. So whether that be book reviews, or if I want to make a song or stop motion Lego thing, or who fucking knows, if I feel like making it, I will make it. So I always wanted to have a variety of stuff on this channel, not just MMOs, not just EverQuest. I know that the people who watch my channel mostly are here for EverQuest, but that I still want to just make random stuff too, even if they don't get any views or they mess up the algorithm and YouTube thinks that I'm like changing my niche. I think EverQuest will always be the foundation of this channel, but I always like to make some new stuff too. That might not be related specifically to MMOs or EverQuest. So without further ado, I am very grateful that the whole first half of my video wasn't deleted, because I would have had to re-record it and it probably wouldn't have turned out as good, because it just wasn't, it wouldn't have been the authentic free thought flow of stream of consciousness kind of thing that I usually like to do in my videos. It would have been trying to rehash what I already said, and I always like to just have kind of an authentic, unedited commentary in my videos lately. I find it mentally stimulating for myself, and also good practice for communication and trying to have cohesive thoughts, even if they aren't always cohesive. And it's honestly, it's just the kind of YouTube videos that I like to listen to. I love unscripted, unedited, free thought videos. So if that's what you like as well, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe, almost at 2,000, and comment below, what brings you to EverQuest? If you've never played EverQuest before, what brings you to your favorite game? What about it? What do you love most about it? I would love to hear that in the comments. And without further ado, just thank you so much for watching. If you've if you're watching this far, you are absolutely awesome. And if you are still here, comment carrot on a stick, and I will know that you are cool. Yeah. Take care, everyone. Peace.